and gentlemen, welcome back to the YouTube channel of JJ Prime Reviews, the channel where bots get rated and fans get hyped. So, what figure are we reviewing today? Well, we are going to review the Transformers Age of the Primes Deluxe Class Combaticon VORTEX! And a very nice figure, in my personal opinion. Not perfect, but it's pretty decent for the most part. So yeah. But is he truly worth having in the collection? Well, let's check him out, shall we? Let's go! But before we take a look at the figure itself, we need to take a quick look at the packaging. So we have a nice image of Vortex in his robot mode and in his helicopter mode. His name is Combaticons Vortex, Age of the Primes. We got 19 steps, 1 of 5 of Bruticus. And on this side of the box, we got a nice image of Bruticus himself. Vortex, collect to combine. And on this side of the box, we got the some 13 primes. We got the Star Convoy, Megatronus and Unleash Maximo, Deluxe Class, Till All Are One. And on the back of the box, we got the obligatory product shots. We got the robot mode, helicopter mode, 19 steps of transformation, collect to combine to form Bruticus and all that stuff. So that is pretty much it for the packaging. And moving right along, here we have Combaticon Vortex, fully transformed into his helicopter mode. And I think the helicopter mode looks pretty dang good. I mean, it's not a great alt mode. It's not a perfect helicopter mode, but for what it is and for what it's intending to be, I think it's nicely done in my personal opinion. It looks nice. I do like the coloration on this Vortex here. It's like there's some nice sheen to it, and I love it. You can see got some black paint for the cockpit here. Got some blue stripage going down the middle, and of course we got some nice silver outlining on these windows and black paint on these windows. So, and they painted all the windows, which is quite nice. You don't rarely on helicopter robots you don't see all the windows being painted, and on this one you see all the windows being painted, and that's amazing. That's beautiful, and you can see nice silver-ish paint on the propellers here. And that's basically it for paint. You know, there's not much to go home about, but you know, for the animation model, Vortex didn't have much color to begin with, so. But yeah, it looks pretty decent. Looks pretty good. You can see the landing gears are molded into place, and there is a landing gear back here, and that is the back of his head, by the way. So you can actually flip up that landing gear if you want to, or flip it down. You know, hey, it's a thing that you can do. And of course, these propellers do spin very, very freely. They go quite a while, and the back propeller, it does spin very nice and freely as well. So yay! So let me talk about this one. So on the instructions, they are very dumb because the instructions tell you to rotate this back section this way, but that is not correct. As you can see, there is a little tiny port there, and then you can see, not sure you can see it, but there is a tiny little peg right there. So you're supposed to rotate this way and peg that in there, and that's the proper way to transform the helicopter mode, the back section here. That is the proper way. Do not follow the instructions. Do not follow them, because the instructions suck. Anyway, but sorry, there's something in my throat there. But anyway, yeah, that's just a disclaimer for you guys. You know, if you want to get this figure in your collection. So, but yeah, but there you go. That's the helicopter mode. That what you see is what you get. There's nothing much to write home about. It's a helicopter. You know, it's a nice Vortex helicopter, I will say. But anyway, so there you go. So for a quick comparison, here we have Vortex compared with Aerobot's Air Raid and Constructicon Scavenger. As you can see how they look together, and they look really good together, I will say. Very, very nice. But yeah, I'm really happy that we're getting modernized figures of these combiner teams, the Aerobots, the Constructicons, and finally the Combaticons. Oh my gosh. Yes, so yeah, very excited for the rest of the Combaticons to come out, and yeah, very, very nice. I love it. So there you go. That's pretty much it for the ultimate comparisons right here. Now, Vortex does include some accessories of his own. He includes not 1, not 2, but 3 accessories. So he comes with 2 small guns and his main gun right here. So you can see how this looks, and that looks nice, nicely molded, nicely sculpted. I like this. Now you can store these guns in the alt mode if you want to. So what the instructions want you to do, there are a couple places that you can store these weapons. So the instructions, they want you to plug this main gun into the slot right in here. So there's a tab on either side, so they want you to tab this gun right here like so. And then they want you to use these tabs on these smaller guns to plug into these slots right in here. But there's another spot for the storage, because there are slots down here as well. So you can actually use these slots to your heart's content. You can use these slots, store that gun underneath like that, like so. But I don't like the way that looks. So what I would usually do to store these guns, I basically take these smaller guns and I just plug them into these slots underneath. So there are slots underneath as well. So just plug them there and just plug this there like so. And then what I do with the main gun here is that I use this port and just plug this gun right there. So that's how I store the guns, and that looks a lot better to me. It looks more cohesive looking. So but hey, it's your toy, you can display it however you wish. But me personally, I'm gonna display my helicopter mode like this. So but yeah, there you go. That is pretty much it for the weapon storage. So now we can get down to the robot mode for Mr. Vortex here. So let's remove these guns here. Remove them. Remove them. Remove it. Remove it. Remove everything. Remove everything. Hey. So there you go. Alright, let's put the guns off to the side here. And now we can get started. So for the transformation, they want you to remove the propeller section here, so that you don't have to deal with a lot of clearance issues. So me personally, I'm just gonna remove the propeller section. Yes, you can remove it, and just put this off to the side. And now we can get started. So first step is to flip up the landing gear, and there you go. There's that. And now you want to take the back section here. You want to split all of this, split all of that, just like so, like that, and rotate it out. Rotate that out, just like so. And then you want to rotate this to the side here, and then you can come down here with the legs, just crack it open, just like that. And you want to split this section here, just flip up the toes and the heel spurs and everything, and then you can split the legs like so. Whoops, actually you want to open this up first. You want to open up this up first, and then bring down the legs just like so. And now you can split the legs like that, and there we go. And you want to close up this panel, that will tab into place. Close up this panel, tab into place, and there you have his lower body pretty much all done. So I need to zoom out so you can see what I'm doing. Alright, there we go. So for the arms here, you want to rotate, you're going to bring this down on that hinge, and then rotate this down just like so. And then you want to take this chunk here and untab it from the forearm just like so. Just like that. And of course you want to take this section and just rotate this down a little bit, so you have your clearance to bring this back up, and then rotate this down all the way. And there we have an arm all done and ready. So on the other side kind of does the same thing, but a little bit different. So just bring this arm down on that hinge. Be careful. Just bring that arm down on the hinge and rotate it around just like so. And of course you want to take this section, you want to bring this up like so. Oh, you want to bring this up, there we go. There we go. There's that. So now I can take this panel right here, just put this back, and then rotate the head 180. There we go. So we're almost done. You have to deal with this arm now. So rotate this a little bit, and then you want to take this section here. You want to untab it from the forearm, like so. And then you want to rotate this to the side, like so. And then bring this up, just like that. And I believe we're done. Are we done? Yes, we're done. Woo, we're done. So there you have Mr. Vortex, fully transformed into his robot mode. And I think I forgot to do a step. Now he's done. So there you go. There's Vortex in his robot mode, and I think he looks pretty good. All things considered, he looks like a very good-looking G1E Vortex. So you can just compare it with the animation model here, and yeah, pretty cartoon accurate, I will say. Yeah, very cartoon accurate. Now, truth be told, as far as mainline Vortexes go, this is my only one. Because I never got the Combiner Wars Vortex. Main reason is that Combiner Wars Vortex was just a straight repaint of Alpha Bravo, and I didn't like that. So not to say that the Alpha Bravo mold is bad. It's not a bad mold. It's a good mold, but I'm just not a fan of straight recolors. This Vortex is a brand new mold, by the way, and that is amazing. I wanted the combaticons to be new molds, and I got my wish. So now I can finally have a G1E Bruticus in my collection, and I'm so happy about that. Yay! So yeah, and of course we're starting off with Vortex. We were supposed to start off with Swindle, but nope. Vortex took the spot as the first combaticon to be released, and he's pretty good looking, in my personal opinion. There are some things that that do bug me a little bit with this figure, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. But anyway, let's get in close here, so we can take a look at the beautiful head sculpt that he has, and that's a nicely done head sculpt, in my personal opinion. He has a big, huge red visor. Nice silver paint for the mouth plate there. Very nicely done head sculpt. You got the Decepticon symbol on his shoulder. Like, nice blue paint on the chest, blue paint on the crotch, black paint on the shins. And yeah, he is pretty clean for the most part. Pretty clean. One thing that is not clean is these chunks on the backs of his arms, and that is an eyesore for me. That a little bit it gets in the way of things. You know, it's not a fan. Not a fan of these things just sticking out. Just wish they had done something better to hide these away. But you know, it is what it is. So it's you know, it is what it is. but all in all, though, he still looks pretty good in his robot mode. So as far as articulation goes, his head is on a ball joint and can rotate a full 360. He can look up a little bit, can't really look down. The arms can do a full 360. They can move in and out, can move a bit further up, I believe, on the hinge at the bottom. No, that's more for transformation. No, as far as biceps go, you do have bicep swivels. You do have an elbow joint, like a ratcheted elbow. Interesting. Yeah, he does have an elbow joint. Yeah, and these things go with it, which is a little bit unfortunate, but there we go. He does have a waist rotation. Legs can move up that far, can move back that far. He can do the full splits and then some. You do have thigh swivels, a knee joint about 90 degrees of bend there, which is nice. The feet, you do have ankle tiltage right there. The feet can, of course, move downward due to transformation. So he is pretty poseable. Just wish that these chunks could hide away somewhere else, but anyway, it is what it is. So now let's put back some of the accessories on him. You are meant to put the propeller back into robot mode. So you're supposed to do this. Just plug this back in like so, and there you go. This propeller is back in place. So as far as the other accessories go, so basically you take this main gun and can just plug into his hand like so, and then these guns will go on the sides of his forearms into these ports right here like so. So just plug these into his forearms just like that, and whoops, the main gun just fell off of his hand. That's not supposed to happen. Dude, hold your gun, man. Hold your gun. You hold your gun. Thank you. Anyway, so I didn't put it all the way in his hand. Anyway, but there you go. That is basically on how you want to store, how you want to use your weapons in robot mode. Or one more thing that you can do, you can take the propeller here, and you can just basically, just take the arm like so. So you can basically use this port and just plug that propeller into this port like so, and you can actually do this if you really want to. Let me plug this back into his forearm. There we go. So yeah, you can basically do like a whole propeller shield thing, you know. Hey, that's a thing that you can do. I mean, it's cool. And you can take the propellers and just use this and just bring them together like that, and that's more proper. And there we go. So that's pretty cool. I mean, hey, you know, you display it however you wish. It's your toy, you know. Just mess with it however you wish. So there's a little bit play value here. So that's very nice. I like that. But you know, still don't like these chunks on his forearms though. But it's nice that you can use these chunks to plug in your propeller like that. So hey, a thing that you can do if you really want to do it. But me personally, I'm just gonna leave the propeller on the back like so, and just leave it there forever. So, and just display the propellers out, because you meant to display the propellers like that. So, but there you go. That is basically it there for the robot mode and what it does. So he does have a combined mode, but I'm gonna save the combined mode until I get everything Bruticus wise, until I get every combaticon in my collection from Age of the Primes. I could show it now if you want, but you know, I'm not gonna do it. I'm just gonna wait until I have every combaticon and then show off the combined mode, show off how everything combines into Bruticus. So there's that. But anyway, let us bring in some size comparisons. And for a quick comparison, here we have VORTEX compared with Aerobot Air Raid and Constructicon Scavenger. And a nice set of figures here, I will say. Very nice set of modernized figures for the combiner teams here. The Aerobots, the Combaticons, the Constructicons. Yeah, very nice. I like it. I like it. Cannot wait to have the full set of the Combaticons, man. I cannot wait. I'm so excited. Oh my gosh. But anyway, that is pretty much it for the robot mode comparisons right here. Okay, so here are my final thoughts on the Transformers Age of the Primes Deluxe Class Combaticon VORTEX. And a very nicely done figure for the most part. The helicopter mode is solid. I like the helicopter mode. It looks really good. Robot mode, from the front here, it looks very good, very cartoon accurate to the G1 animation model. But my only real complaint with this figure is the giant chunks on the backs of his forearms. Not a fan of that. They're just sticking out the back there. That's a little bit unfortunate. I did hear that you can actually pop them off, but I didn't even try because I'm afraid of breaking this thing. So I don't want to break VORTEX. So considering that this is my first Combaticon figure from the Age of the Primes line, yeah, I'm not gonna break anything on this guy. but for the most part, he looks pretty good. Paint wise, I mean, there's not a lot of paint on him, but again, in G1 he didn't have a lot of color on him, so that's fine. You know, the paint work is perfect as far as I'm concerned. Articulation is pretty nicely done, I will say. Articulation is pretty good. So he has pretty much all the joints that he needs, you know, so no issues there. Transformation, very smooth, very enjoyable. So yeah, transformation works very well. So definitely a fun figure to mess with. So all in all, I will say this is the best mainline G1 Vortex that we're gonna get. And yeah, definitely better than Combiner Wars Vortex, because not a fan of Combiner Wars Vortex. Just not a fan of it. No, I prefer my combaticons to be more cartoon accurate like this. So yeah, so this is my preferred Vortex as far as Generations Vortexes go. But there you go. So yeah, and of course I like the propellers. I like how you can use the propeller as a shield thing. So that's pretty cool. And the guns are nice. The guns are nice as well. Having 3 guns, hey, you know, 3 guns is actually quite a good amount for a for a Decepticon like Vortex. So yeah, but there you go. I think yeah, that's pretty good. Pretty nicely done figure as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, but there you go. So if I were to rank this guy from a scale of 1 to 10, I think I'm just going to give him a solid 8.5 out of 10. Just these chunks. Not a fan of these chunks. Other than that, good figure. Really good figure. So alright, so 1 combaticon down, 4 to go. Oh my gosh. Yes, but there we go. That is basically it for today's video review. So ladies and gentlemen, if you have enjoyed this review, be sure to click that like button down below, give it a thumbs up. Yay! And of course, if you want to see more reviews like this, be sure to click that subscribe button down below. And while you're at it, click that notification bell icon down below as well, so that you will never miss any of my future videos. And of course, you can always check out my Age of the Primes playlist for any videos you may have missed. So I will post the link to that playlist. So I will post the link to that playlist in the description down below. And I think that's pretty much it for me to say. So there you have the Transformers Age of the Primes Deluxe Class Combaticon Vortex. And this is JJ Prime signing off. Peace out to all of one, and I'll see you guys next time. VORTEX!
Leader, the viewers must subscribe to support the cause.
Optimus, they know that, but sometimes you've gotta ask with style. Hey you, yeah, you watching. Smash that subscribe button, or Prime is giving a speech. Again.
I heard that.
Good, now hit the button before he starts cutting the Covenant of Primus.